Picture yourself suspended in deep water. The surface is distant, the light is fading, and you are entirely exposed to whatever moves in the dark. It is a visceral kind of vulnerability. We often find ourselves standing on the jagged edge of a crisis we can't quite see yet, a shadow gliding just beyond our peripheral vision. When that shadow approaches, our instinct is to brace for impact. Muscles tense, breath shortens. In these moments, we convince ourselves that we are completely, undeniably alone. But then comes a sudden rush of movement. A pod of wild dolphins breaks the silence, circling the swimmer in a tight, living shield. True defense rarely comes from our own physical strength or our ability to fight the current. Instead, when we are most exposed, unexplainable guardians often arrive to stand between us and the dark. We can pull this metaphor out of the ocean and into a space most of us recognize, a quiet hospital room. Facing a grim diagnosis like kidney failure brings its own looming shadow. Medical statistics and society at large often expect an individual in this position to simply break under the weight of the news. A shift occurs when the internal resistance stops. By choosing to accept the reality of the crisis with unwavering faith, the isolation of panic begins to dissolve. This is the act of surrender. That surrender is what allows the modern guardians to enter the frame. The pod of dolphins takes a different form. A devoted partner offering quiet, steady encouragement, a mother stepping forward to sacrifice an organ, or a tireless medical team tracking successful scans. When you stop fighting the reality of the crisis and let go of the fear, you create the space for specific human healers to carry you through. Surviving a physical crisis is only half the equation, though. Consider a bright, everyday classroom. A person can beat an illness or escape a threat, but true healing stalls completely if their mind remains weighed down by unresolved anger. This diagram shows the mechanics of emotional burden. Imagine each grudge is a heavy potato dropped into your backpack. Resentment relies on flawed logic. We hold these grudges believing our internal suffering somehow punishes the people who wronged us. Over time, those potatoes rot. They emit a foul stench, and that decay seeps into the fabric of your life, polluting every interaction and every new environment you enter. The only way to stop the contamination is mechanical and deliberate. You have to physically open the bag and dump the weight. Refusing to forgive only poisons the host. Actively dropping that emotional baggage is a mandatory requirement for achieving internal peace. Once the weight is gone, the internal landscape shifts entirely, resembling a clear, high-altitude peak at sunrise. In this elevated space, forgiveness operates as a functional mechanism. It provides the access point for divine grace, moving far beyond a simple social courtesy. It requires a distinct shift in perspective. You look at those who caused you harm and recognize their actions as a byproduct of their own ignorance, replacing your rage with simple compassion. But the final layer of this process is the most difficult to execute. The most vital forgiveness is the one you direct inward, at yourself. You have to actively let go of the internal shame you've accumulated. You must refuse to let the fear of other people's opinions act as a new set of weights in your bag. Affirm your own worth every single morning. Walk forward as a capable soul, completely unburdened by ego. By dropping the defensive weight of the past, you finally become light enough to notice the support that has been circling you all along. The peace you seek is waiting for you to simply let go and receive it.